Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things not Marvel without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. So, I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I'm very pleased to introduce a very special guest. Today I'm joined by the amazing Justin from I Don't Beat Games. You may have
Hi.
seen him literally everywhere on the internet, spreading his nerdy gospel and being the biggest Blue Beetle stan I've ever met in my entire life. So, hello, Justin. Thank you for joining
Hi.
us.
It's an honor to be here. And yes, it is true. I kind of become known for being the Blue Beetle guy, which is genuinely hilarious, but I roll with it. I wear that as a badge of honor.
You should. Even like your background is very Blue Beetle vibes.
Yeah, I could change the color, but I was like, you know what? I have to stick to the brand. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna change it. Let's give the people what they want.
And that is like, it's so funny because every time on Threads, if you guys aren't following Justin, you're bananas. Look up I
Yeah.
Don't Beat Games. Just follow him. You will not regret it. But every time I see something, anything, a morsel of Blue Beetle, I know you're going to be tagged in it without doubt. And I always like, oh, it's going to be me today. Nope, someone beats me to it. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. That's
It's
fine.
become a thing where it's really funny to me because like I don't know where this began, but everybody for some reason on Threads feels the need to tag me whenever it's something about Blue Beetle, whether it's news, whether it's a random post, whether it's them telling me I watched Blue Beetle because of you. And I'm like, really? And it's just funny to me because it hasn't stopped. It's like every single week at this point. And I'm just like, you know what? Fine, so be it. Keep doing it. It's great.
James Gunn's better run you that money because you're like the only one who's out here doing this.
Look, man, I'll take what I can get. It doesn't have to be money, but James Gunn, if you need me on a blue carpet for the Blue Beetle animated series, I'm there.
That's it. I mean, it's like it's such a big thing with you. The other day I was putting on my Blue Beetle shirt and I was like, "Aw, I don't beat games."
It's great because
Why?
I just love that this has become so synonymous with me because like usually when something happens like that, you kind of just grow tired of it. But
Hmm.
for me, it kind of like adds a sense of like strength of like I'm glad people see Blue Beetle and they think of me. Like that makes me happy.
So, besides your Blue Beetle persona, I guess, I don't know, personality, quality,
Yeah, sure.
trait, I don't know. Tell us about you because you're everywhere.
Okay, so hi, my name is Justin. I am a New Yorker. I am a very nerdy person. I have been into movies for as long as I can remember. A lot of people know this already, but my favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. That should not shock anybody who knows me. I became a DC fan around the golden era of cartoons, which is when Teen Titans was on, Cartoon Network,
Mm.
Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock. Like that became my world for me. Of course, like everybody else, when Iron Man came to the big screen. I still remember seeing that in theaters, believe it or not. And for me, I started my journey of content creation with one goal, which is to just be like an open voice where I feel like I'm giving my opinion to people. And rather than it being, I'm right, you're wrong, it's more like, this is my opinion. This is why I feel this way. This is what I mean by what I am saying. Please tell me whether you agree with me. Tell me why you disagree with me. Just voice your opinions in the comments down below. That has always been my goal. So with threads, I realized that at that point in time, I wasn't like totally in love with video making because, I'm sure you could relate to this. Video making, an exhausting process. A lot of
An
people just see the 20
exhausting
minute runtime,
process. You
but it's
have to
like a
love it to
multi-day.
want to keep doing it.
Exactly. And I burned myself out on it. And I was like, I'm just gonna do something different. And Threads launched, and rather than like trying to make videos and promoting it and trying to get people to click to a link or whatever, I decided what annoys me the most when Twitter was a thing, right? And I'm sure you will absolutely agree with me when I say this. I it genuinely infuriates me, but I hate, and it's a very strong word. I hate people who make accounts and then they go and they're like, this character's in this movie. This character has a scene doing this. This person is cast as this person. It angers me. So I decided out of spite, right? This sounds so dramatic, but it's so true. Out of spite, I was like, I'm going to be the person that makes it a trend to post news, post the source, put the links, give people credit, put quotes, make it as detailed as possible so people can stay informed and know that all of these other people who are getting their hopes up are wrong. That's how we got here.
while ta single-handedly taking on the haters of She-Hulk
Yeah,
daily.
that's become a brand. I love it. It's so funny to me because all of this started because one day I know this. Someone said in my mentions, and it's one of the many people. There's so many people who I know who are gonna watch this that are always in my mentions, right? And someone kept asking me, like, "What's your opinion on She-Hulk? What's your opinion on She-Hulk?" And I
They
said
want
it
to
in
catch
like,
you slipping. They want you to say
yeah.
like it sucks. Like why is
And
it a show?
the thing about me is I could understand this. So what I did one day was out of spite, and this was like 2 or 3 months ago. I was like, I'm just gonna make it that people know where I stand on She-Hulk, Ironheart, Miss Marvel. Like you're gonna know how I feel about this. So I did it one day, and it went mega viral overnight on Threads. Like I had like 3 million impressions, and I was like, oh, there is something here. And I got hate for weeks. A lot of people don't know this. Like, you see the dunking, you're like, oh, he's great. But my mentors are like, you suck, you're woke, this, that, whatever. And I'm just like, all I said was that it's really good. You shouldn't hate it. And then now it's just a thing where I'll see like a She-Hulk mentioned in my notification. I'm like, oh, opportunity. Let me see if you're right or wrong. You're wrong. Dunked on you.
I had I've had something similar where I someone said post your Marvel hot take. And I said if Tony Stark was a woman, he would be the most hated character of all of Marvel.
And you're right.
And yeah, and the amount of people is like, that's not true though. And I'm like, are you high? Are you okay? Yes, it is. First of all,
It
yes,
was
it is.
they would have been like, oh, she's rude to Captain America. Oh, why is she being unnecessarily snarky? But because it's Tony Stark doing it, it's
Mm-hmm.
oh look, that's Tony. That's just Tony being Tony. That's what we expect out of him. That's why we love him.
It's the difference of Tony being Tony, and then they would say, oh, she's just a girl boss. And it's like,
Exactly.
why is that a bad thing though?
And that's what it
I'm
is.
sorry, but like
When
girl bosses are great.
and this is why when anybody, I don't know if you remember this, but when Daredevil Born Again came out and the episode where Miss Marvel was mentioned, in
Ugh.
I had people in my mentions telling me how ridiculous I am, how it's unnecessary, how it was being forced, how could they do this? And then I'm looking at these people in my mentions and I'm like, this is world building. This is normal. This
They're
is
in the same
exactly what needs to
world.
be in the MCU. This makes sense. This isn't forced.
Oh, but if it was the Hulk that they brought up, they'd be like, oh my God, continuity. But it's Miss
Exactly.
Marvel, so they're like, it's forced. And you're like, no, your ignorance is showing very, very highly. It's the people who scream that they want comic accuracy, but then if you give them a comic accurate character that's a woman, that's someone who's black, who's of a certain color, they're like, we don't want that comic accuracy. And it's like,
And the thing
okay,
is, what people don't realize is that the people who are loudest about comic book accuracy, they're the ones who don't read comics. I don't know
yeah.
if you noticed this trend.
No,
And I've
I
noticed this,
know.
and I've stayed quiet on this for months. But there's one thing I've noticed about Marvel fans and DC fans. Don't get me wrong, I love both universes. I will have always been vocal that I'm a DC person first. That is no unknown factor. I'm wearing a Star Labs hoodie right now, for God's sake. But when it comes to DC fans, when if James Gunn posts a picture, if anybody posts a picture, whether it's David Corn Sweat, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, whoever, if they post a picture of a comic book, that comic book is going to be sold out within a week. They read the comics.
Oh
These
yeah.
DC fans are passionate.
Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, good luck finding it anywhere.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
happened last summer when it first got announced. But
Yeah.
when do we talk about a Marvel comic selling out or Marvel fans talking about, oh my God, I just went to go get this Marvel comic? It's happening now because of Secret Wars. And it's happening now because of Avengers Doomsday, which I know we're going to get to. But I've never seen this common thing of, oh my God, I read Marvel comics. I always see on social media, like, oh, I'm into DC. I'm into this genre. I'm into this brand. It's not just DC specific, but when it comes to Marvel, I've noticed that all the people who are like, I want this, I want that, I want comic book accurate, I want this suit, I want that suit, I want this storyline, I want that storyline. Then they're giving it, and it's not like that. But
See,
notice, it's always with the people of color related shows or movies.
oh yeah. What I think it is that I think if DC had been in the same continuity from like what, 2010, like Marvel has, I think there would be more of that. But I think
100%.
because they started with the MCU, with the Avengers, they started with Tony Stark, Chris Evans, Captain America. I think we would see that more in the DC side. But It's almost like the DC fans are like, this might as well be changed. This might as well be restarted. We've
You
been
want to know
through enough.
why? It's not even just about being through enough. Is that we're used to things having to have an arc and then come to an end. We're
True.
used to being given things, it runs its course, we get the next thing. How many Batman movies are there? How many Batman shows are there? How many different shows have come and gone since the early 2000s of they did 5 or 6 seasons, it's done, here's the new thing. We did all these Snyderverse movies. Some of them were successful. Most of them weren't critically and box office wise. Don't come from me, Snyderverse fans.
I like
Relax.
Snyder. I'm a Snyderverse fan. I like the movies. They're just they're not the characters.
Exactly.
They're
And then,
variants of the characters, in my opinion. Like, that's what
well,
I see them as.
that's what I don't mind viewing it as. If it's an Elseworlds tale, and you're like, yeah, the reason why I like it is because I view it as this alternate Earth
Yeah.
where it's this tone and it's going for this type of vibe and this type of story, then I'm like, I'm on board. But if you're
Yeah.
going to tell me, I think the Snyderverse is the perfect iteration of the DC characters, it's like, no.
Oh, the amount of people. Oh, the Henry Cavill fans.
I don't even like. I had this conversation once, and I know I got attacked for this. I'm not gonna lie for you. I've had my fair share of hate trades. Okay, it's fine. I remember when the Flash was like starting production, and it was like, oh, we're hearing rumors, this, that. It's gonna revert. It's gonna do Flashpoint. It's gonna reverse the
Yeah.
timeline. It's gonna reset everything, and it's gonna be brand new. So then they could start anew going forward. And I'm like, good. That's what we need. We need a reset point. We need to drop everything, let it be a blank slate, and let's push forward. And I said that publicly, and I got harassed for 48 hours.
But it's
Yeah,
true. Like, if Secret Wars is something that changes, it's there's a huge reboot, small reboot, whatever, it's needed. Like with
and I agree
Flash,
with
it
you.
was needed. And all I can think about that movie is how he runs. I can't think about anything else but the running. It's so bad.
I think about that and the fact that Barry Allen stalks Iris for the first half of the movie or something like that. I feel like that was a thing, if I'm misremembering, that he constantly goes to the coffee
Yeah.
shop and he's been watching her for a while. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's been
Isn't
a
that
while
where
since
the
I've seen the
baby in the
movie.
microwave thing happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
can't believe
going
we
but going
watched
back
that
to
movie.
your point of Secret Wars, I have had the headcanon, and this is specifically because Kevin Feige has said this with interviews, with Variety deadlines, the Hollywood Reporter. I got the sources. I could link it. Trust me, I have a whole 20-page presentation about Doomsday sitting in a document. Yes, it's true. I can show it
Why?
because I've been keeping track
20 pages.
because here's the thing. Okay, I've been keeping track of because everyone's like, oh, it doesn't work, it doesn't connect, nothing works, and I have a detailed document with articles and links of how we got here, the different things that could connect to Doomsday, and just the leaks that have happened over the last weekend, which we'll get to. But real quick,
Yeah.
my point with Secret Wars is that with Kevin Feige being like, I don't want to call it a reboot, but we're doing a reboot of some kind, tells me I don't think they're confident that Marvel fans are ready to let go of some of the characters they're
They're not.
probably going to kill off in Doomsday. That's how I view it. And I think it's necessary to bring in new faces. Like, for instance, I like Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I'm ready, more than ready. Give
Get him
Daphne
out.
Keene.
Get him out. Bring X-23 in. It should
Let
have already
her be
been
the
done.
Wolverine. Like,
Yeah, he
I'm
can be
fine.
Old Man Logan in
Exactly.
something else.
But like, I want something else. I want something new. The same thing happened eventually. I'm not ready just yet, but I'm getting there with Tom Holland Spider-Man. I've had my course with it. It's
Hmm.
fun. He's been great. Give me 2 more movies. Get him out of here. Bring in Miles Morales. Like, we need to get the ball rolling on introducing new iterations of characters. I'm sure Thor is eventually going to get his own send off, which I don't think he's going to die in Doomsday. That's just me. But my point is that like with DC fans, you tell them we're gonna reset this, we're gonna hit the reset button, we're gonna take a pause and do these Elseworld tales, right? We're down. They're open to it. They're like, yeah, why not?
See,
But
some were. Some didn't know what reboot meant. So they're like, oh, so Henry Cavill's out. Is Gal Gadot gonna stay? And you're like, sweetheart.
Cal
They're
El,
all
no.
gone. They're all done. And they're like, well, what about Aquaman? You're like, oh my poor summer child. You just want to wrap him in a blanket. You're like, we're gonna learn a new word today. It's called reboot. That
I
means it's all new.
and I fear for when Kevin Feige gets on that stage at San Diego Comic-Con at Hall H, whether it's 2027 or 2028. My theory is 2028. I think they're going to let us have Doomsday and Secret Wars and have that period of them marketing it, them hyping us up, not saying anything about what's coming after, letting
He
the
already has.
stories.
Well, he already has. He said it's going to be mutants.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is like we're not gonna know the official projects. I mean, like I'm
Mm.
saying, like I think they're gonna leave us in the darkness for a while. Of like, let's let them sit in the mystery because that's what it seems like they're kind of aiming for. We know we got Spider Man, we know we got Doomsday, we know we got Secret Wars, and then we know because Ryan Coogler admitted in front of an audience at some sort of event. I know I posted about it. I have all the sources. I'm on Threads. If you want your links and your sources, I post them. But Ryan Coogler already said he's doing Black Panther 3 and
So
he's
did
making it
Denzel. They all
and
did it. They all said it. So
but here's the thing: I don't think people are realizing the way he's talking, and I don't know if it's because of the success of Sinners, which fantastic movie, one of my favorite movies of the year. I think he's gonna walk away from Marvel after Black Panther 3, but that's just an opinion I have held for a while now. Because the way he sounds like and the way he's been, slowly beginning to talk about it, it kind of feels like they're kind of ready to leave the baton to someone else to pick up that storyline. But that's how
stupid.
it sounds.
Stupid. If the Black Panther story is done at 3, great. That's cool. That's awesome. What I want is Ryan Coogler just to stay to give us a Storm origin story. That's what I need.
That would be peak.
That's what I'm saying. It's that easy. It's just that simple. Like I don't ask much.
But
Like,
I have the
come on.
fear because with all the thing, I know everything is changing with the Netflix deal and the Warner Brothers deal. I know that's all up in the air right now. But what happens if Warner Brothers gives him a contract for, how they're doing at Paramount with all these different 4 picture deals, 1 year deal, 2 year deals, whatever. What if Warner Brothers comes in and they're like, Ryan Coogler, you did Sinners, took over the world. We loved it. You had fun with it. We want to give you a contract to come over to us. You think he's gonna say no?
I don't know. He
That's
surprises
my
me with a lot
fear.
of stuff because I didn't think he was going to come back for Black Panther 3. But then when he actually said it, I was like, oh, okay, this is a ride or die feeling. That's what it feels like for me and him, that he is ride or die for the Black Panther franchise, the whole saga, because of Chadwick Boseman. And, Michael B.
Of
Jordan, all
course.
that. So I guess wherever he does go, if it's not Storm, which would really fucking suck, um, you can be excited to see Michael B. Jordan, which we all are.
I think that's something that we all want to see, but like I wonder if he wants to do it because I don't think Michael B. Jordan has ever openly like petitioned himself. Like how the actor from F1, I think it's Damson Idris.
Hmm.
He's been petitioning himself very hard for I want to be Black Panther. Like he's been saying it
He'd
over and
do it.
over.
He'd do well.
I just don't know if Michael B. Jordan has done that. Like I don't know if he's been vocal too much about wanting to touch that area, or if he sees that as
I
a
hope
Chadwick's
not.
thing.
I hope he doesn't because he was at Chadwick Boseman's star on the Hollywood Walk. I genuinely don't think he would get into his role because that wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, and I respect that. If he totally just came out and was like, "Look, I see the fan cast now that the MCU has the soft reboot coming with Secret Wars, and Black Panther might be open, right?" I would respect if he was just like, "I don't want to touch that. I view that as Chadwick's thing, and Chadwick is my brother, and I love him to death, and that's something that I feel like with us and the movie we did and our dynamic and the moment we had together. Because remember, Black Panther was one of the most iconic moments in comic book history. Like
Absolutely.
everyone paused the world. It was you heard all the stars every day for like a year. Like I would respect if he was just straight up like, I don't want to touch that. That is sacred ground to me. And the same thing happens when they decide like we want this to be the final thing. Like, what if that cast comes together and goes, we want this to be the final thing for Shuri and these characters, but we want to leave the door open for Secret Wars so then they could bring in a new Black Panther. Maybe that's why Marvel has been waiting.
That could be it. At this point, like with the leaks and everything, it's like I don't know what Marvel's been doing. I'm
You
the
want to get
biggest
into
Marvel
that?
fan. Of course I do. I am the biggest Marvel fan, but Kevin, if you're listening, I could fix this. I could do so much better than whatever your team is doing because you guys okay, let's just get into the leaks. So
Okay,
Monday, the world is just minding their own business. And
that's true.
then we are hit with The Avengers Doomsday trailer, the first one has leaked. And
Yes.
you and I we're not those people that were like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait. Oh no, that's disrespectful." We were so on it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was very like, I'm not gonna verbalize. A lot of people got mad at me for this. I don't know why, but like, I respect that there's people who follow me both to either engage with the things I say or because they just like that I post news. So I was keeping it obscure out of respect of like, just so y'all know, the first Avengers Doomsday trailer leaked. It's out there in the wild. I've seen it. I'm telling you, it's real. I know it's real from all the research I've done. And then I got hate because everyone was like, why are you obscure posting? Why don't you
Dude,
just tell us?
they
Where can
said
I find it?
thanks for the non-news. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude,
And I'm like, guys, we first of all, it leaked. If I post it, I could get in trouble. Like I could have legal repercussions for that. Anyone
your
could.
your accounts would have seen two different accounts that are gone completely because they posted them. Then
Exactly.
on Facebook's a big page I follow, their admin of the page, he can't even get back into the page itself because he did it. Someone else got 30 days. Like,
Exactly.
stop reposting, stop posting the leaks. It's Disney. They will
So
mess you up.
I got banned 3 days for accidentally posting something that was leaked and I didn't know it was leaked. It wasn't from Disney, it was from a different company. I'm gonna keep it obscure. I will text you it. Don't worry, I'll text you right after. I'll remember. You're gonna laugh at it because it's the stupidest thing in the world, but I got a 3 day ban for it. So when I saw the Avengers Doomsday leaks, I was like, I'm gonna just let people know. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna put an image of the Doomsday logo and just say, hey, it's out there. Because I also
Yeah.
respect that some people are, wasting 3 hours of their life by going to the theater to see Avatar Fire and Ash, and they're going to get surprised by that. So I didn't want to ruin that. But then it was like wildfire. You couldn't escape it. It was everywhere, no matter where you open, whether it was TikTok, Instagram, X, Threads, you name it, it was there. Right. And at first, I'm like, okay, I get what they're going for. I get it. And then the next one leaked. And the next one, it had me like a crazy person because I was with my friends. I'm like, what is he saying? Chris Hemsworth, your accent is so thick that I can't tell half of what you're saying. Right. And then another thing leaked because after it was, Steve Rogers returns, Thor returns. Then it's like the third one is rumored to be Doctor Doom. We don't know if that's confirmed yet, but that's like the main rumor right now. And I'm like, oh, so we're doing once a week. We're doing
Oh.
all these different trailers. We're
Hmm.
trying to, I get what they're going for. Okay. I have said this multiple times and people don't agree with me here. Whatever they're doing is working, right? From a fundamental standpoint, we have to agree it is working because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're not the only people talking about it on social media. This is not the only podcast that's covering the news of like, oh my God, Marvel leaks. Casual people are talking about it and complaining, like, oh, Steve Rogers is back, whatever. Everyone is talking about it, which is the point, right?
Yeah.
So they won in that end. But there's better ways to have done what they're doing.
Look, I know you guys wanted to get attention to Avatar, but yes, we're all talking about it. And I wouldn't be talking about it either if this wasn't this case. But we're not saying nice things, guys. Like, I know no bad publicity is still good publicity, but like, I don't think Disney gets it. This felt so cheap. This made me hate Avatar. I haven't seen the movie, but doing this,
Neither have
like
I.
dangling a trailer that we're not going to see anything for the next year, that feels cheap. I don't like it. And I'm not seeing Avatar because I saw the first two and they were boring. I don't care who knows it.
Look, and here's the thing, okay? My thing is, I understand the end goal besides getting people talking.
Hmm.
It's going to the casual audience and going, look, that thing you like, Steve Rogers, the nostalgia. You guys showed us that you liked it with Spider-Man No Way Home. It crossed $1 billion. You showed us that you liked it with Deadpool and Wolverine. That crossed $1 billion. Guess what? The next major Avengers movie is also going to have the classic people you know and love. Let's get back on the MCU train. That's the end goal, right?
Yeah.
But my question is, out of all of this, why not just do another stream unannounced?
Yeah.
Why not
That
do the
was
Doomsday Clock?
the thing is, like, I know people are like, no one's got time for that. No one wants to see that. I do. And also the people who do, you're still talking about it. You still know every person that was revealed during that 5 hour stream. You want to shit talk it and say it was too long, it was too stupid, it was boring, but you still know everything about it. You kept up with 5 hours. So don't say it wasn't successful because it very much was. That's why that and the energy of that feels so, so different than the energy of this, which makes me think this was from the heads of DC. This is DC saying we
You
need
mean
the
Disney?
help. Disney, yeah. I'm tired, guys. I mean Disney. The heads of Disney, them saying we need help with Avatar, which makes me think Avatar's gonna blow. So I guess they can't,
You said
hide
that it was
hide their
successful, right?
which
Now,
one?
would you the stream?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, would you believe me if I told you I had actual statistics pulled up right next to me about the stream with the numbers?
Before we got on
Yeah.
this episode today, no, I wouldn't have. But after hearing about your 20 pages of Doomsday, yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah, so here we go. The live stream had ominous sounds throughout the camera with focus on each cast member's share until 15 minutes went by. Every 15 minutes, a new cast member was announced.
Amazing.
It pulled in more than 275 million digital views and 3.1 million social mentions. That number is 5 times the social volume of Deadpool and Wolverine when its trailer premiered at the Super Bowl, which is like the biggest commercial time ever. Hour by hour, the audience grew throughout each platform it was on, and it was everywhere. So Instagram, Twitter, you name it, YouTube, Twitch, they had audiences growing every single hour. The stunt yielded over 55 distinct trending terms on Twitter/X throughout the day, with hashtag Avengers Doomsday holding the #1 trending spot on Twitter for over 7 hours. And after 24 hours, that video was #2 trending on YouTube.
What was number one?
I have no idea.
What could that possibly be?
I have no
But
idea.
look, oh, I bet you it's a political thing. I bet you.
Maybe.
But see, it was successful. Even if you didn't like it, it was successful. It was different. But like this promo, like, come on.
Is
Disney
that
could have thought of something. You could have released the Spider-Man trailer, make beat it theater exclusive.
that would have worked actually far more, I think.
It would because why does anyone care to go see a 10-second trailer 4 times in a month
All different
for all different for a movie in a
in a
year?
year.
These trailers, the movie might change. These trailers might mean nothing.
We know they're doing reshoots early next year.
Yeah.
They
So
wrapped
like,
filming for this year, but they're going back to do reshoots again.
yeah, exactly. So it's like this was a stupid idea.
And my thing is, right? Why not? I like the Doomsday Clock. I think the Doomsday Clock is
I do
very
too.
fantastic in terms of it being ominous. It
Hmm.
like, generating a sense of concern from a viewer perspective. Like us as fans are thinking, what is Doom planning? Like, what could he possibly be doing? This seems threatening, for far more threatening than we're all probably willing to admit. Why not just one day go live every platform, a Doomsday Clock? We hear ominous sounds. We hear Doom walking in the background. We hear, tinkering sounds of different electric things, almost like as if it's Tony Stark building his suit with a box of scraps, right? And then every 15 minutes, new cast member. You've revealed the
Well,
rest of the cast.
I don't think they should reveal the rest of the cast. I don't think they should because either what like something else is going to get leaked. So keep whatever you can a secret. But the ominous thing I think would knock it out of the park. Like if you just randomly put this doomsday clock somewhere and count down to just what you
12
said,
hours.
random noises in the background, drop a hint somewhere,
You hear Doom
anything.
walking. You
Yeah.
hear the metal clanking of him wearing the suit.
Like if you just hear him sigh,
There you go.
oh, that would be people's ringtones. That's all you
And
need for Doomsday is that small, small thing, not something huge. Like Chris Evans is back and he might be Captain America, but he definitely has a baby. Also, I cannot even explain to you how hard I hope that's not his baby, and I hope it's Sharon Carter because that would be weird.
I think it is his baby. I have a whole theory about this. Me and my friends, we have been theorizing about this together. We have a whole thing. But my thing is, before we get to that, like with that stream, right? Even if you don't announce the rest of the cast, and we just see and hear, every hour a sound effect on, show that it's the hour. We hear ticking sounds for every minute, right? We hear Doom making sound effects and walking. And then let's say they did it on Christmas Eve when everyone's home for the holidays, right? You have the whole world at the palm of your hands at that point. Everyone's home. What do they reveal at the end? A first look at Doom. that be the first thing we see him up close because he grabs the camera or it glitches and it shows us 90 seconds of just him, even if he's sitting in the chair and he says nothing to us and we just hear
Honestly,
music.
if you have him just like blacked out, like as a shadow of him sitting in his throne, oh, dude, money.
Exactly. That's more effective to get people back on the MCU train than going, Steve Rogers will return. Chris Hemsworth will return. Whoever else will return. Like,
Like, we don't care. We're gonna see the movie anyways.
it's going to, yeah, a lot of people, that's one thing I've been seeing recently today. I agree with the sentiment that people are being a tad dramatic because this movie is going to gross $1 billion.
Yeah, it's
There's
hitting.
almost no way that's
It's
not going
hitting
to
the
happen.
Billy Club. No, there's no way it
Yeah.
won't.
Like this is going to be a movie that people are going to see multiple times. The ticket sites are going to go down as we try to get tickets to see it opening night. Like this is going to be an event on a level in which it's probably going to overcome the hype for Endgame, I think.
Oh, just wait till they give us a Doom popcorn bucket.
And it's just a
That's
mask. And
if
it's just
it's
popcorn falling out of the eye sockets in the mouth.
dog. If it is, that is. Ugh. I got like kind of flesh there. I want it
There
so
you go.
bad. But like if they did thing promos that were just centered around Doom, like imagine wasn't even about the movie. They just dropped a few laws of Latveria, like something, like just anything that is Doom related, because you they did not have the time to build up Doom because of Jonathan Majors. This wasn't the original plan. So why wouldn't you spend this year getting the audience familiar with Doom? Why wouldn't you do that for the casual watchers who not everyone reads the comics and you don't
That's
have
true.
to. You really don't. But think how many people are like, Doom? You mean the guy from the Fantastic Four movies in the early 2000s? He wasn't nothing. See, they should be centering around Doom. Marvel, we're right here.
And the thing is, like with Marvel specifically, I think they failed to get people to read comics because I don't know if you noticed the marketing for DC. They market DC compact comics so much, and
As
it's
they should.
such a huge win for them.
Yeah,
That has created more fans than any other sort of idea. And Marvel has tried to copy it, but it's 14.99 versus 9.99, and people like the compact comic fit versus like the format of it being like this big, probably versus it being a regular trade paperback. And more importantly, DC isn't afraid. And this is one thing that has always frustrated me about Marvel. I hate that Marvel doesn't tell people at the end of the trailer, read these comics, even if it's not inspiring the movie directly. You know how powerful it would have been if they were just like, read this Fantastic Four comic,
they
read
did.
this comic.
They did. They
They
give them
did.
up for free.
Then why did nobody talk about it?
It did. It was like months and months before. It was a picture of Herbie, and then there was the what is it called?
The QR code?
Yeah, there was a QR code that took you to read these comics for free, but they did not promote that whatsoever. They just put it out and left it there. People didn't notice no one noticed the QR code because it was hidden. No one knew it was free comics. And even in the movie, they at least gave a little bit to like, oh, this is for Jack Kirby who, created them. This is from Marvel Comics. It's like it's that easy. Y'all didn't just come from nowhere. You have the handbook, you have the cheat codes, you have it all right there in your books. Pay mm, pay love to them. I mean, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It's crazy to me because I do like that about DC that they do go out of their way. Like James Gunn posting shop local at local comic stores. Buy this one, buy that one. Here's a picture of Millie reading the Woman of Tomorrow. Like it's easy, simple things to do.
And even at the end of the trailer, this comic is inspiring this movie, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Here's a picture. Go buy it. Like that
Yeah,
is so effective. Even James Gunn tomorrow could post a picture of him reading any comic book, even if it's nothing that we know about. It could be anything, right? That comic gonna skyrocket in sales immediately because everyone's gonna think there's a DC project or a character or a storyline from that comic is gonna show up somewhere down the line. Look at Superman.
yeah,
Superman, it was hard to find a copy of All Star Superman. It was hard to find a copy of Superman Birthright, Superman for All Seasons. Like, Superman comics were selling out everywhere because Superman was such a moment and they were pushing it of like, go read Superman comics. Why doesn't Marvel do that?
what kills me is that RDJ started to do that. He did it with Doom. He did
Yeah,
it.
he did Treasury, right?
What?
Was it at the comic Dune Treasury edition? I
Oh,
remember the
just it
cover.
was Doom #1. Yeah. Um, I believe. Oh, I've read so many Doom comics lately, bro. I don't know, but
I just know it was in a suitcase. I know that. I remember the video. I know
it
the
was
image you're talking about.
he did it once or twice.
Hmm.
And he said Doom Workstation Essentials. So he is essentially telling you, read this comic. And that comic was damn near impossible for anyone to get in person. You could see, you could just feel everyone going on Marvel Unlimited and checking it out. 2 days later, everyone is a Doom professional. Everyone knows everything. And it's like, you just have to do that. It's so easy. But for so long, these franchises like Fox, they were not allowed to read the comics. Psylocke, she was not allowed to read the comics about her character. She snuck them onto the set. And if you'll notice, she was the most comic accurate look of them all, and she had input on her costume because she read the comics. But they said before, we don't want them to read it because we don't want them to already have the idea of the character in their head because we want them to make it their own. And it's like, I didn't come here to see Olivia Munn make Psylocke her own. I came to see
We
Psylocke.
can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that I think Isabella Merced said this in an interview. I think DC Studios is giving all the actors access to DC Unlimited, not DC Unlimited, DC Universe Infinite. I think she was the one who mentioned it because she was talking about how like she was reading like comics with Hawk Girl and Green Lantern and how she wants to see that dynamic on the big screen. So like the fact they do that is great. But like I feel like with a character like Doom, as you mentioned, no one knows that he's the big bad. Like the casual audience,
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. They
So
just saw
you
a hooded
have
guy.
to exactly. So you have to do the work of helping them understand whether it's putting a spotlight on old episodes in old cartoons focused on Doom, highlighting Doom comics, selling Doom figures. Like you have to make it a moment so that the day he comes next year, it's not, oh my God, who's Doom? Because remember, Thanos, even though he wasn't perfectly built up, by the time we got to see him, people were like excited and they knew who he was. They knew him by name. We were saying his quotes. We still use his quotes
He
because
was right.
exactly right. So like with Doom, I just don't see this, and this is my own opinion. I don't see this being a one and done. I think a lot of people are viewing this as a one and done scenario where they bring him in, they get everybody back in, they wipe the slate clean, Secret Wars reboots it, and then we move forward. And I just don't think that's the case.
No, I don't either. I think this is a variant of Doom, but I think we're gonna get the real Doom much later. But this one, it's like, I'm sorry, Marvel, you guys know. Doom is not one to do half-assed. You cannot make it lackluster. Doom is the definition of power to the readers, to the audience, to the characters he's with. He is powerful. You need to be building this up right now because if people go to which one is it? Doomsday. If people go to Doomsday and say it was mid, no movie with Doom should be mid. That's not, you guys messed up somewhere along the way. And I think right now it is like the perfect time just to reel it back in, figure out what you're doing because Doom needs to be known about. You cannot go into this movie for people to say, wasn't he Iron Man? Who's Iron Man playing? People have to know he's Doom.
I
Plain and
agree.
simple.
And the thing is, I feel like they're doing a decent job at like getting people in and getting people along for this, right? Because no matter what, we're all talking about it. Even the most casual people are talking about this news and the leaked trailers and images and this, that, whatever. But when it comes to the movie itself, the ramp up of the marketing needs to be a lot more. I don't want to say clear because I am a fan of not knowing everything. I'll be honest with you. It's a rare moment for the MCU fan base to not know every plot point like we did with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
The
Word
whole
for
script
word, the
leak.
whole script.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home was the worst kept secret of all time, right? Like everything about that leaked and we thought it was fake, but it was leaked. We knew the plot point by beat before it came out.
And then they put all three Spider-Mans in the trailer, and they do that so they're able to go to the premiere. They
Yeah.
did that with X-23 too. She was supposed to be a secret, and Kevin Feige said, well, she wanted to go to the premiere. So we put her in the trailer. And it's like, oh, I didn't know she was CEO of Marvel. That's so crazy. Wow, who knew?
it's just I am excited because I like that we don't know anything, and I
Mhm.
like that they're making this very ominous. I'm a big fan of that.
Me
I
too.
like that's why I really like the Doomsday Clock, and I think it would be more effective if they had used it of us just waking up one day and the Marvel goes live and it's just like, what's that ticking sound? And then it's slowly revealed to be a clock with the Avengers logo and everything. That would have been a really cool moment. But it's just with these trailers specifically, I understand they're not for us, the people who are hardcore enthusiasts, but the problem that they're going to struggle to communicate until we get a teaser trailer is why is Steve Rogers coming back? Why are these characters coming back? What is the reasoning? Because to a lot of people, it's nostalgia bait, right? Like a lot of people are going to run to this is Gambit, Channing Tatum Gambit finally happening. This is Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire and all the Spider-Man interacting finally happening, right? That's their mindset. And I get it because they're not saying anything. It's just a 20-second clip of him riding a bike and then it cutting to him holding a baby and then Steve Rogers will return. And you're not saying anything. So you're just showing them like we're going for the nostalgia again and you have to communicate why Steve Rogers is coming back. And until we know the why, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be against Doomsday a bit, saying Marvel's creatively bankrupt. Marvel has, run out of all ideas. Marvel isn't, on their A game. What are they cooking? Who let them cook? I don't understand the story because they're not connecting what I feel is a bit obvious with Doomsday, which is that it's a direct sequel to Endgame. That's the only way you could bring back Steve Rogers.
It's obvious, right? They're
To
playing
us,
Endgame again in the theaters in September, which I'm
but
gonna see. I'm seeing that in theaters again.
everybody is. That's going to
Yeah.
sell out. You know why? Because
Yeah.
everyone's going to assume our first look at the story for Doomsday will be the post credit scene for that screening.
Which I think so. I think it better be this doomsday clock. If it's not, don't put anything there. Leave it there.
Or it's no, I think it's going to be the first reveal, not of Doom, but like I think it'll be the first trailer. That would be really cool. Can you
Full trailer,
imagine?
you mean?
Can you imagine going to the Endgame screening and that's when we get the full trailer and that's when we find out everything about the story and what it
That
is.
I'm in for. You know what?
And then
Just give it to me.
that's the mid credit scene. And then the post credit scene is the clock counting down
Yes.
to the days left. That's how you generate hype. That's how you actually get everybody excited. You're like, oh my God. You don't milk it and you don't, do all these ominous things that don't really get people on board. You go straight to the fans who are buying the tickets. Because if anyone thinks the end game tickets are not going to be sold out in 24 hours or even 48 hours, you're just wrong. Like that's going to sell out immediately. Everyone's going to go back.
100%. Well, it's not even if you have no hype for Doomsday, you cannot deny the electricity that was in the theater during Endgame. When that first portal opened, when you heard on your left, when you
I
saw
just got chills.
Spider-Man swinging, yeah,
I just got chills. You saying
like
on your left.
when you saw Spider-Man swinging in from something, I don't know what his webs were connected to, but
We
he
don't
swung
ask that.
in. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we don't ask that. We
It
don't ask too
doesn't
many questions.
matter.
Yeah.
But
It was a
like
building
those
in another dimension. It was just really far off and we couldn't see it.
Well, that was the first time I was ever in a theater that people started screaming and cheering. And I was so pregnant at the time. I could not get out of my chair. My husband had to like pull me up because like I was so pregnant. And I was just like standing up screaming. I'm like, and I just sat down. I was like, that's all I can do. But it was like, it really, those are the moments you feel lucky to be in the fandom because all of us are here vibing. All of us are just hyped up, happy, just wonderfully happy. It's kind of like the opposite of thing, but kind of the same about when Chadwick Boseman died and you went to see Black Panther 2 in the
My
theater.
heart broke when that news.
Same. I
I
was
was
a
like, he got hacked.
mess.
I swore my friends, I'm like, he had to have gotten hacked. This is not true. And then all the articles and all the people start posting, and my day, not even my day, my month was
Ruined.
ruined. I
Yeah.
was just like devastated.
Because there was so much speculation for so long that he was on drugs. He hated the Black Panther thing. There was so much stuff said about him, and he was the most unproblematic person, which goes to show, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it turns out he was dying. And he
And
did
he didn't even tell
Endgame.
and he didn't tell anybody. It was all it was one of those things that when the moment happened and it was revealed, even people at Marvel found out at that moment because they weren't aware of what was going on.
Some did know, like the other actors with him, they knew. Because you can see videos of them kind of like him falling asleep during the promo tour, and they're like, "Hey, you okay? You doing okay? You need anything?" Like they knew. But I think some people didn't know to the extent. I think he was like, I'm getting treatment. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But he did have to be medically cleared to do the stunts and do all of that in Endgame. So they had to have known something. But like when he died, RIP, and we went into Black Panther 2, and the Marvel promo comes and it is dead silent. There is no music, there is no nothing.
Hmm.
And the entire theater is silent too. It's one of those times where you're like, I do feel lucky that I don't have to go through this alone because we didn't know him. We didn't know anything about him, but we loved
No,
him.
but the moment he gave us as a community and as a
Yes.
fan base was just so pivotal. That
Yes.
type of moment cannot be replicated again today. I stand by that opinion.
I
I
just don't
really don't
see
think
it.
so. Unless it's X-Men or something of
Yeah.
that nature. But even that, I don't think will match the like obsession. Because remember, Black Panther came out and people were cosplaying, people were doing the Wakanda Forever sign,
I
people were
know.
screaming, especially after Endgame, Yi Bombay. Everyone was screaming that. Like it was one of those things where people really connected with the Wakandan culture, just like they connected to the Talokan after Wakanda Forever. That was a whole thing. I remember all the memes of being like, you're watching Black Panther with your friends, but you're Hispanic, so you got to do the thing. So I remember that. Like, it's just, I don't know if that type of thing will happen again, which is why I'm so happy that we got that moment.
I think they could replicate it with Doom, but I don't think they could replicate it with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom. I don't think that it'll ever achieve what it should have if it was someone else.
But here's where I stand with RDJ Doctor Doom. I am not against it. I
Hmm.
know a lot of people are strongly against it, and I get the number one reason. I
Yeah.
understand that people want a Romani actor, I believe that's the correct culture. Her name
Romani.
is Romani.
Yeah.
Oh, Romani to be
Hmm.
playing Doctor Doom. Completely get it. But I think what they're going for here is something that they have to do RDJ for this because the only way this works, and this comes back to a theory a lot of my friends and I have, we did a whole document together trying to figure this out, and shout out to them, right? We ultimately kind of agreed that what's going to happen is the baby is going to be the reason why Doctor Doom comes into play.
I hope not, because we literally just did that. Like, we just did that. I hope it's not that. I hope it's a variant situation and the look of RDJ as the look of Tony Stark as Doom. I hope it shakes all of the Avengers to the core. I hope we get a Mr. Stark from Tom Holland. I hope Pepper's like, Tony. I hope all of that. I want to hear unanimously every single heartbreak at the same time. I
I
want
do
to
too.
know.
But I think the whole story begins with, and time travel in the MCU. It's a very picky thing because every director has said different things about how time travel works, and we got one explanation here, one explanation there, whatever, right? My theory, along with my friends, shout out to them again, we all came to an agreement after way too much
Who are
bickering.
these friends? Because, like,
Their
just bring
names
them
are
on.
I should. One of them is always on threads right now. Their name is the Ray of Water. Her name's Leia. Shout out to
Oh,
her.
I should have
Yeah.
known.
Another friend, she was on threads. Her name was Angels Films, but her name is Ty. Shout out to her. Right. We've been bickering a lot about time travel and how does it work, this, that, whatever. And the unanimous thing that we can all foundationally agree upon, which is not a lot to be honest with you, is we think with the way time travel works, Steve Rogers having a kid made himself a
Oh,
variant. Are you good?
sorry, I hiccuped and it like
Okay.
it like
Now
came
I'm just
through my
making sure.
chest. It hurts so bad. My
I'm
God.
just making sure. I'm just making
Sorry.
sure.
When I drink too much water, I hiccup and I was like trying to like pace myself, but I get really
It's
thirsty when I'm recording.
it's okay. No, don't worry. I'm
That's
just
why.
making sure. But
Thanks.
our theory, right, is Steve Rogers has the baby with Peggy. That creates and turns himself into a variant, which ruins the timeline because he's not supposed to be a variant. He's supposed to just go back to the past and live his life until when he becomes an old man. Because how in Endgame he's an old man.
Hmm.
So we think Old Man Rogers and Steve Rogers, who becomes a variant, has the baby, are two different people. And that leads to Doctor Doom. I don't know how we haven't figured this part out. Doctor Doom figuring out that someone's out of time. Because how everyone has been saying, like, oh, it's going to be based on Avengers time runs out. We think the people that are out of time are all children. We think it's that would explain because now this is where foundationally it kind of supports it here. We think Steve Rogers' kid is going to be one of them. We think America Chavez is going to be one of them because remember, she's a one of one. She has the power to punch through the timelines whenever she wants. She has no variance. He's going to want her to be able to travel to all the different Earths, right? That's why he would go to Franklin at the end of Fantastic Four. That's why there's a big emphasis with the Doomsday teaser trailer for Steve Rogers with his baby and the Thor one with him praying to come back to his daughter, Love.
God, why they have to bring that little bastard in?
But like, we think the people he's trying to collect and use to do whatever it is he wants to do are the children. Those are the people who are out of time. And another example is another, I don't know if this is us being too technical with this theory, but we think Billy Chaplin, Billy Maximoff, the Wiccan, we think he's technically a child
Billy
at a time.
Kaplan. Yeah.
Kaplan. We
Yeah.
think he's a child at a time because he was a ghost that went into another person's body right when they died.
Yeah.
So he's not supposed to technically be on Earth
He's not
616.
he's not supposed to be alive. Wanda made him with chaos magic, which she was not supposed to have.
And that's going to probably come into play. So we think this is going to have to do of a direct sequel of the consequences of all these different children. And all these different children serve a different purpose, which is why he's going from Earth to Earth and probably going to do the thing where he destroys the timeline, makes it collapse on itself, create Battle World, etc. That's our leading theory of just too much bickering.
It could lean to a Young Avengers slash champion situation with any of the kids that are left over. But my question is, how do we know this is the same Steve? He had a shield.
That's the thing. We're talking about a time.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a shield. It was his suit, wasn't it?
Was it? It
Yeah,
was
it
a
was a suit.
shield. Put a shield down.
No, he put the suit down on the motorcycle.
What the fuck is he doing with a suit on the motorcycle?
Probably still being Captain America for all we know.
That's pretty. I haven't even seen it fully. I've just seen what the internet showed me.
Yeah,
So I don't
it's
even
the
know why I'm
suit.
arguing. I
I,
haven't
I
seen
I
it.
think he probably wears it or whatever as a protective thing for him and Peggy or whatever. But that's our theory. He has the baby that turns him into a variant when he's not supposed to be a variant. But he doesn't know about the variant stuff because it wasn't explained until now I'm dying after with Loki. Because remember, Miss Minutes comes in and then she's
Mhm.
like, "This is the timeline. It's a sacred timeline. The timekeepers held it together, and then we created the TVA so they could prune any timeline that branched off." And then Loki comes in, he changes it. Because remember, that's the whole point of Loki sitting at the end of time, so he could be the one to watch over all the timelines. Because he was like, "No, let's not stop pruning things. Let's just make sure they could coexist." But we're probably going to find out that pruning things is probably necessary for the sacred timeline to exist normally. And that's going to be the thing that probably creates Doctor Doom. The question I still have is where does the variant, the RDJ factor, the Tony Stark factor come into play? Because I don't think you cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom unless you're showing the face on some level.
His face will be shown. There's no way it. But that's the thing. It's like you guys could have just picked someone else. You didn't have to do this. His face has to be shown for the emotional gut punch. But they could have picked someone for Doom. I always thought Jamie from Game of Thrones would have made a phenomenal Doom.
I've never watched Game of Thrones. I'd have to
Okay.
look him up.
Okay, so listeners, y'all know what I mean. Like that dude, Jamie Lannister's wild.
Hold on, I'm looking up.
I
I see the vision.
But when you see how menacing he can be, perfect. Like it's who also would have made a hell of a Doom?
Who?
The guy who played the young Magneto.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's right there. That would
But
have
I
been
feel
amazing.
like maybe I want to hear your take on this. I feel like they felt like they had to cast RDJ,
I know they think
and
they
not
do.
and not because they wanted to, but I feel like when all of the Jonathan Majors fiasco was happening, Ant-Man and the Wasp, flopping at the box office, people still getting the whole Kang thing wrong. Because a lot of people keep saying, and if it really infuriates me, I should probably make a post about this. Kang did not die to regular ants. They were superpower ants because they were in the quantum realm. The movie said that. I don't know why I
They weren't
specifically
even
remember that.
they weren't even the thing that took him down.
No,
They
but they played a role. So
they
everyone just
did.
generalized it of like, Kang lost to ants. Of course he sucks. You don't want me to
I
be
love
scared of this
saying
guy,
that. I
right?
love it.
But it's super powered ants. Can we at least get the super powered adjective in there? This was
They're
the quantum
like,
realm.
they're like the size of a Labrador. Like
Exactly.
clearly not normal ants.
But everyone just says he died to ants. But I bring this up to say that Kang dying to super powered, not regular powered ants ruined everybody's interest in him. Because they're like, you lost to Ant-Man? Ant-Man's like the weakest Avenger, dude. Here's the thing, okay? If they wanted him to be an Ant-Man, right? You know how you make it interesting? You make Ant-Man lose.
Lose.
That would have been devastating.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Should have
make him
killed.
lose. You make it seem like he's trapped in the quantum realm or he's on some other timeline. Make us concerned for him. Have him separate from the Wasp so she could stay in the quantum realm and she could get recast. That's the point, right? And then it's like, oh, he took down one of the Avengers. That's terrifying. That's how you. That's an introduction because we're all gonna expect a happy ending because that's how every superhero movie is. It's we have fun times. We remember why we're there.
Except
Conflict is
Infinity War.
introduced. That was a
Look,
different story.
but look, Doomsday could end the same way as Infinity War. We're getting
I
somewhere with
want
this.
that so
So
badly.
bad.
I want to be devastated.
I
Like I want my
know.
heart to hurt. Like I want it to be
I
like, oh
want
my god.
like I want to have to need a safe space. I want like to feel emotionally fragile after it because I feel like we haven't gotten that in a long time and I need it. But for the beginning of it, what I think would be perfect is we still have that big old arena of Kangs that Marvel wants us to forget about. Put Doom right in the
I
middle
do.
and you don't have to see anything crazy happen. You just go in, like slow zoom in. You see a bunch of dead kings everywhere. And then you zoom in till you see a dark figure breaking the neck of the last Doom. The last Kang.
Kang. Yeah.
Yeah, frick, man. Uh, the last Kang falling to the floor, and you just see that it's a green outfit,
That
a
would be a
green
great
cape.
introduction.
I know.
Or him going back to the end game battle and killing off Thanos. Like, can you imagine like him killing off Thanos before the end game battle happens? And then we're like, wait, what's gonna happen now? Because we wouldn't know. That's uncharted territory.
That's
That's a
true.
shocking introduction.
That's true. Full for Doom, the perfect person to flex how powerful Doom is would be Kang. Comic accuracy there. They're so intertwined with each other. Kang was like the big bad, the one we were all like, oh shit. Until, the super normal ants took him out. Um,
They were normal. They were in the quantum realm, guys. Come on.
but yeah, King would be the one because like Victor Timely, everyone loved him in season 2 of Loki. That the like you had the playbook is right there. If you're not going to keep going with Kang, use Kang to introduce Doom. It's so simple. It's so easy. The fandom will understand if it's not Jonathan Majors. We all are okay with that.
That is true.
Yeah. So I just don't want them to fumble Doom. That's it. That's all I ask. I don't ask much.
But what does fumbling Doom look like to you? That's my question.
Making him not that big of a deal, making him a one-off, giving us absolutely no, I don't want to say power, but like in the comics when Doom's about to show up and the earth kind of gets a little shaky. Like the
Yeah.
tension's in the air. There's just a menacing feeling something's going to happen.
It's kind of
That's
like
what
when
I
you hear
need.
the Wonder Woman theme song in the middle of The Flash and Shazam Fury of the Gods. That's when you knew things were going south.
When I turned on Shazam, Fear of the Gods, that's when I knew things were going south. And it did not, Skittles and all, it did not, I was not surprised.
Oh, you didn't want to eat Skittles after Shazam Fury of the Gods?
I sat there and I was pissed. I was like, because I don't watch movies during the week because I'm busy every day.
Of course.
And then usually the days we watch movies are like Sundays. And I was like, that was a movie I picked for the fucking week.
Oh,
It
I
was
would have been pissed at
that?
myself.
Huh?
Yeah, I would have been pissed at myself too. I
Yeah.
hated that movie and I like Shazam. I read Shazam comics. That's a statement
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of people say in their lives. Like, I actively read Shazam comics, okay? So
I
I
like
was
Shazam
hurt.
too. Like, I really want an absolute Shazam. Like, I think that'd be cool. But
But I think Shazam's, for different reasons, which I'm not going to get into here. because we're not going to address the elephant in the room or the purple crayon. But there's reasons why we probably won't see Shazam for a while unless they do Kingdom Come as a movie. But real quick to go back to Doom, because we went off on that tangent. That's what happens when
That's
you're the
this
one
whole
throwing the people
episode,
off.
just tangents, and I love it.
Look, it's okay. This is the type of conversations I have regularly with people. I'm like, I'm about that. Like, you want to go from A to B? I'm good. Like, let's do it. But to go back to it, what would make you walk out of the theater happy that with Doomsday?
Just mm, 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 mm. Don't make it like Deadpool and Wolverine. I loved Deadpool and Wolverine, but it was very much it was just things that was fan service, which I do love
Yeah,
fan service, but I think it only worked well for that movie. For this, I need depth. I need actual race stakes. I don't need you to throw in Captain America telling
who is
the
Sam
other
Wilson?
Captain America. Yeah, but we don't know if he's coming back as like we don't know if he's actively Captain America right now. And then going into Endgame, if he'll join Sam Wilson as Captain America or he's just Steve. So I don't need to see like, oh, the on your left. I don't need all that. Don't try to pull at my heartstrings with that, the friendships, all that. I want to see devastation. And if you kill off Spider-Man again, I'll be pissed because they
I
did
don't
it
think
to
they're
me.
gonna do that.
I I don't think so either because he's so heavily involved with Secret Wars. And we're getting the black suit.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
yeah. So I don't think they'll go for that. But I think they're gonna do away with the characters that have been here a little too long. I think we're
Like,
not like Thor. I think Thor's done.
I think Thor's gonna lose his arm. I don't think he's gonna be killed off.
Look, kill him off and then bring Beta Ray Bill in, and no one will complain a bit.
But what if Chris Hemsworth is not ready to say goodbye yet? Maybe he wants his,
I'm ready to say goodbye to
last
him. I'm ready. I don't care.
really.
I'm good. I'm done. After the last two Thor movies, I'm good. Like,
Do
because
you
those,
prefer old Thor?
oh yeah, 100%. I hate what his name is.
I agree.
I hate what he did. I hated it. I both movies, Ragnarok and Thor: Love and Thunder, absolute baloney. And it just seemed to me, I was like, all right, so Chris Hemsworth isn't taking the acting, he's not taking the role very seriously. Why should I take him seriously?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I agree. I prefer old Thor because he felt like a god. I don't really feel like he feels like out of the water anymore, which might, be intentional because he works with the Avengers every now and then. But like the comedic stuff, I don't think we're going to see a lot of that in this movie. I
Thank
really think,
God.
especially with the teaser trailer that has leaked, there's going to be not Infinity War type of Thor. I think it's going to be serious Thor. We're going to see a part of him where I think we haven't seen him act like that before, and it's going to throw a lot of us off. I
The
think just like the
Viking
emphasis
vibe
on
of
kids,
him.
the emphasis on, yeah, I think that's going to be what we get out of him, and it's going to be like more dark, more serious. And I feel like now that he has love, there's going to be like actual stakes for him and him wanting to survive or him wanting to do certain things or him not willing to take certain risks and stuff like that.
Well, also, it's going to be an emotional thrill ride for him because he's going to see Loki again.
I
Unless
mean,
they
we
don't
have to hope
make,
that happens, right?
unless they don't let them see each other. That's the kind of little bit of gaslighting I'm okay with. Like, make me angry. Perfect.
But here, like, I don't know if I want Marvel to, let us lose a couple of Avengers. I think it's time. Like, I do
Yeah.
think we have to say goodbye to some people. There are certain characters who have not gotten the limelight. Like, let's be honest, Shang-Chi hasn't gotten the limelight.
Yep.
Like, I understand with Hawkeye, if he was to, have to be sacrificed, we wouldn't bat an eye because we have Kate Bishop,
Yeah.
right? I don't think you get rid of Yelena. I think Yelena is going to become like the center character.
I think so too. I think just the ones from phase 1 is who I'm looking at. The ones that are like, obviously they're too old
Bruce
to do the
Banner,
role. Bruce Banner,
Chris Hemsworth,
Chris
Sam
Hemsworth.
Wilson,
Mhm.
um, Bucky,
Yeah. Bucky,
because
I think
he's
his time is coming to an end. Sam Wilson, he's got a whole life ahead of him. I think he's good. Uh, Chris Evans, kill him off. Chris Hemsworth, kill off the Chris's. Take all the Chris's out. Chris
everybody
Pratt,
hates Chris.
take him out. Yeah,
I
That's
don't.
what I want.
I think Bucky's gonna be actually important for once. That's been a big issue I've had. I think like Bucky hasn't really been that important since Winter Soldier, and they haven't really known what they want to do with him. And I feel like a big sign of that was, how he became senator. And then like the next time we saw him, he's like, I'm not doing the senator thing anymore. Like you could tell they had different arcs planned for him and they just don't know what to do with him. But I really feel like what we're not putting into account with all these discussions is that we have two Avengers teams. And only one of them is the common man between the two. Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky, which I think this is going to be a really fun story element because it's going to frustrate us as fans because we're going to be like, guys, get over it. Like, come on, there's bigger stakes than the name of the Avengers team. Like, let's just band together and let's worry about taking this man down. You're going to let the name get in the way. I really feel like Bucky's going to have to get the teams on the same page or to work together or something to that extent when that's going to be a huge part, at least of the beginning of Doomsday, because we can't expect them to all work together when we have the new Avengers and then we have Captain America's Avengers. Like they have to
Yeah.
become just the Avengers.
It's going to be Steve saying, "Come on, guys. We're all Avengers." And that's when I'm be like, "Oh, fuck off." Like I'm sorry. I don't usually cuss this much about it, but like that's going to annoy me because Steve is such a Boy Scout and that has always annoyed me in the comics and everything. So I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I like Sam Wilson as Captain America. He feels more Captain America to me.
You know why? Because Sam Wilson feels like the everyday man.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson feels like the type of person that if you bumped into him on the street, he would have a 5-10 minute conversation with you, and it would be the best conversation you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I
And
never felt like that with
Steve
them.
Rogers will just give you the white person smile, the
Yeah, man. Thanks for you want a photo? All right, let's get a photo.
yeah,
Like
that's it. But Sam Wilson goes through things and fights for things that a lot of us are dealing with every single day.
exactly. In the
Steve
show in
Rogers
the
is
Falcon and the Winter
just,
Soldier.
yeah, Steve Rogers is just like, we got to do what's right for the country. We're all American. Like, shut up. Just,
It's fine. Like you're right. I
yeah,
agree with you. It's just like the same realization that I had recently. I'm like, I want them to do interesting things with Bruce Banner. I'm tired of Bruce Banner being Smart Hulk. I am tired of Bruce
God
Banner
bless.
being this character who he's kind of relevant, he's kind of not. He's kind of the comedic effect. He's kind of not. He'll have one or two hype moments where the Hulk is smashing people. Like I'm tired of Bruce Banner not getting his time to shine and his time to be a complex character. And I know it's never going to happen in a solo movie because Universal has to force Marvel to agree with them to let them distribute the film. And that's probably never going to happen. So it's like we lost on that end. And it's just like, I really wish certain characters like Bucky, like Hulk, could get their time to shine. So then we could be like, all right, they're done. We can move forward. We could push past them. We don't need to keep revisiting these arcs over and over and over again and feel like we're kind of just treading the same ground. Like I'm looking forward to when Captain America has more than just the storylines we've seen in Brave New World and the storylines we've seen in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm ready for him to do things where he gets to approach government matters or world stake matters that, require a leader to get the group together and go, how do you guys feel? What do we do? We have to worry. And then they go back and forth. Like he would be able to, defend the common man and go, I don't want to hurt this area of the state. I don't want to put these people in the middle of destruction. Like I want to see that type of leadership from him. And I feel like Avengers Doomsday is going to set that up for him, where we're going to see him be himself, of course, because Sam Wilson is a very likable guy, of course. But
Yeah.
we're going to see him being a little petty because it's going to be
We
like,
need to.
yeah,
The American way.
like we're going to see him be petty and go, you guys aren't the Avengers. I don't know who you are. I got the shield. Like I'm ready to see that type of dynamic of him talking to Bucky being like, why are you with them? You should be bringing them to me because we're bros. Like we're buddies. Like we're best friends. You remember? Like you liked my sister. I saw that when the boat at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I clocked it.
Yeah. Like I want to see that, and I want to see him eventually be a leader because Doomsday is probably going to have him forcing to face a lot of loss, and we might
Yeah.
see him grieve and see him take that chip on his shoulder and carry it into Secret Wars. And I'm ready to see a lot of characters have sort of that same mentality. Like I want to see Namor. I want to see what that's like. And, like, what did we do with
Ah,
him?
I'm so excited for that toxic little bastard to come in. I'm so happy.
Like, I'm ready to see him because I'm gonna pronounce his name, I think wrong, but I think it's Tena Cuerta, right? I'm ready to see him because when he was in Wakanda Forever, he dominated every scene he was in.
Every single one. Even
He's
the
like one
scenes
of
he
the
wasn't
best
in.
villains. Yeah, he was one of the
Yeah.
best villains we've ever seen in Marvel history, which is
Yeah.
not a lot of great villains because we've had, Loki, we've had Thanos, we've had Killmonger, of course, but like he's up there. We just haven't had the time to see him. And I'm interested to finally see him get carried in and, Shuri call him because I think they're kind of like friends now, or they kind of have an
There's a
understanding of each
mutual
other.
respect.
Yeah. Like I'm excited to see him be brought into the fray and see what that dynamic ends up looking like because
See,
now he has to be introduced to all these other people.
see, I don't see Shuri calling him and saying, "We need your help." I see him saying, "Absolutely not." No, I could see them going to Atlantis and be like, Namor, we need your help. And he's like, no, 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 you guys screwed this up. That's all you. We're good down here. Because that would be so comic accurate of him. Like, that's what I want. I want so comic accurate. I want the toxicity. I want how rude he is. I don't want him to be a team player. I want him to be the problem, just the problem child of the Marvel Universe. It's like, well, we can't depend on him. That's what I want. And I'll take nothing less.
I want that too, but I'm interested to see what they do with him in the movie.
Yeah, I'm
Because like you
curious.
don't announce him as one of the main cast members because remember they announced like the main cast
Yeah.
members here and that's like the core cast probably of the film. You don't announce him and it's just that element. Like he has to have some action moments, right?
Yeah.
The Talokan have to come in and be terrifying,
Or
even if it's just to
Doom,
Avengers.
or Doom goes to him for help. Or Doom tries to take over Atlantis.
Oh,
I
I'm
just,
not ready to lose that.
because there's just no way that they're gonna show us Sue Storm and Namor. I don't think, I don't think they're gonna do that in this movie unless it's a short, tiny bit. Because I feel like everyone's kind of like, ooh, they're both in the movie. And if history taught us anything, my dear listeners, it's that they have a scandalous relationship. So I want to see it all.
I mean, I'd be ready to see it because I didn't necessarily love the Fantastic Four, but that's just me.
That was surprising to see.
I've
To
been
be,
very vocal. Oh, not
yeah,
very vocal, but I've been fairly vocal on this movie. How I like everything but them, but that's just a whole conversation for a different day for me.
well, we're obviously going to have you back on because there, we've been talking for so long, and I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, that's true. I'm always open to it. I This is fun to me. This has been a great time. I've been enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Great. Well, we are at the end because we've been talking well over an hour, and we're obviously going to have you back. So,
I'd be more than happy to.
so before we go, where can
Go
our
for it.
listeners find you?
You can find me for all my breaking news, all my movie takes. You can find me at threads.com/, at I Don't Beat Games, my letterbox, I Don't Beat Games, my YouTube channel, I Don't Beat Games, Twitch channel, is going to throw you a curveball, I Don't Beat Games. You can find me basically everywhere, I Don't Beat Games. I will, trust me, Megan will tell you, if you are in my mentions, I am going to interact with you.
It's
I'm going to make
100%
sure
true.
I will have a conversation with you. We will have dialogue. I'm very approachable. Just don't come into my mentions and being like, She Hulk sucks, because then I'm going to have to dunk on you. And I don't want to do that. I'm very entertaining. I'm very, I want to say, welcoming on threads. But if you're going to come in and you're going to hate on a couple of things, we're going to have a conversation.
He matches energies very, very well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on. Listeners, if you want to find out where you can find Justin, just look in the show notes under the episode, and all of his links will be right there waiting for you to join him.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been
Of
such
course.
an absolutely fun time. If you want me back, you tell me the day. I am there.
Absolutely. We're obviously going to because we have to.
Okay. I'm in.
So thank you for listening to this episode of Vigilante Vibes. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Justin or any future episode. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous
Adios.
night.